نقدم السيشن الثالثة في المؤتمر العشرين بتاع الثلاسيميا دي. أنا بعتبرها دي أهم سيشن عندنا. بنقدم الهيموجلوبينوباثيس في الأرب كانتريز. We'll start by Professor Khattab. Professor Khattab from Morocco. He will give us about his experience in hemoglobinopathies in Morocco. Please, Dr. Khattab.
Thank you very much. First, I would like to thank Professor Al-Bashlawi for my kind invitation and congratulations for this very important conference. The objective of my lecture is to give you a quick overview of current management of transfusion-dependent thalassemia in Morocco. As you know, Morocco is the most Western countries in the North Africa, and actually there are 36 million citizens, and the population rank is 14. Growth rate is 123%. The capital city, as you know, is Rabat. There is very young population with 27% under 15 years. The median age is only 29 years. And this very sad result that we still have a high under 5 mortality rate with 23% of live births. And as you know, certainly in statistics, maybe many thalassemia patients died during the first 5 years with infection or malnutrition or any other cause. And as you see, Morocco is also the only country with two coasts, Atlantic Ocean and the Mediterranean Sea. And as a Mediterranean country, there are certainly since hundreds or thousands of years thalassemia in this country. During the last decade, the management of thalassemia is organized in 11 cities. All patients are treated in these centers, and as you see, Rabat is the reference center with at least 25% of patients with thalassemia. The total is 509, but the expected number is 3,000. But we don't know, maybe the first cause is the high mortality during the 5 years. And also there are no registry of thalassemia patients, and maybe other patients are followed by private physician or in other centers. Here our children's hospital, and I will give you a quick overview of management in children's hospital in Rabat. How patients are recruited. For new patients are transferred by generalists, pediatrician, and other specialists. At each time, patients are suspected of having thalassemia and patients with newly diagnosed of thalassemia. And also, for patients followed in other centers, they are transferred to our center when they have complications as alloimmunization, splenomegaly, or hypersplenism. The diagnosis is made regarding antecedent medical history and physical exam, CBC count for at least 2 CBC count with interval of 2 to 4 weeks. The serum ferritin in some cases when the features are not typical of thalassemia, and also hemoglobin electrophoresis in HPLC. If the diagnosis is made, is confirmed by the parents' workup, CBC, and the hemoglobin electrophoresis and cytogenetic studies, and at that point, we can distinguish between thalassemia major or intermediate. Here our criteria to distinguish between major and thalassemia intermediate for the age less or more than 2 years, for the hemoglobin rate below or 7 or under 7, hepatomegaly if it's important or moderate, the hemoglobin F rate more than 25-50% or not, the hemoglobin A2 rate, and the parents according to their status. How thalassemia management is organized in our center in Rabat. There is a unit dedicated to the hemoglobin disease in the Pediatric Hematology and Oncology Center, Children's Hospital. The main person is a secretary, and also she is a data manager. She is responsible of appointment of transfusion. She is in continuous contact with the administration, blood bank, pharmacy, and patient. And also, she is responsible of medical reports and statistics. Physician, she is a pediatrician and a coordinator of the team. We have 2 nurses, only dedicated to thalassemia patients. And we have a multidisciplinary team with endocrinologists, diabetes specialists, psychologists, social worker, and dentist. The organization of thalassemia care in Rabat, in the same day, 8 to 10 patients are seen daily and physically examined by the treating physician in the morning and are transfused in the afternoon. They can also receive other medical services if needed, and in general, patients leave the unit after the end of transfusion at almost 6 to 7 p.m. For patients who can't receive transfusion in the same day, they can go to the house parents, as our facility is dedicated for cancer and hematology disease, so they have the benefits of these house parents. The next appointment for transfusion is given the same day regarding the last pre-transfusion hemoglobin level and the last amount of blood transfusion. Once a year, every patient is admitted as an inpatient for 4 days in a week hospital. It's a large room with 4 beds for a complete and dedicated checkup with the visit and all specialists needed. So during the 4 days, the physician and all the specialists can come and see the patient. There is no transfer of patient to adult medicine setting, and each patient who started his treatment as a child in our unit continues to be treated in the same pediatric thalassemia unit. The management of TDC patients, as according to the Thalassemia International Federation guidelines, whenever it's possible, patients are transfused every 3 to 4 weeks with the local reduced and phenotyped packed red blood cells, and the pre-transfusion hemoglobin level is about 9.5 to 10 grams per deciliter. And daily iron chelation, there are nutrition and support, education and checkup each visit every 3 months and once a year. Iron chelation, Deferrazirox is currently our first line of iron chelation. The initial dose of Deferrazirox is as high as the serum ferritin level, because serum ferritin level is the only marker for assessment of iron overload. And we give 20 milligram for patients below between 500 and 1,500, 30 milligram for between 1,015 and 2,500, 40 milligram for patients with between 2,500 and 5,000. And for patients with more than 5,000 of serum ferritin, they receive intensive chelation or combined of iron chelator. Calcium, we recommend diet high in calcium for all patients. Vitamin D 2,000 every day, and it's monitored every 6 months. And zinc is given if deficiency or poor growth. The results of the mismanagement during the last decade, we have 109 patients with an age median with 15 years, between 2 and 35 years. The sex ratio is the same, almost 1. Consanguinity is 55%. And also we add this notion of douar. What does it mean? The families who live in the same village for hundreds of years and also there are 20%. All these 909 patients have siblings, 72 siblings of this patient, and 16 among them had died before diagnosis of her sibling. Here, the age distribution between 2 to 35 years, and with median of 15 years. We receive patients from almost all Morocco, but mainly from the northwest of Morocco. About mutation diagnosed, we have 6 main mutations, as you see here in this chart, and it was published. The median number of transfusion per year is 16, with between 2 to 24 for some patients. Iron chelation is disaferriox for 45% of patients, differipron for 14% of patients, and combined diferazirax and differipron for 41% of patients. The compliance, what does it mean when this daily iron chelation is followed at least 25 days a month, is 68% in 2018, but it dropped to 12% in 2009 because a shortage of this iron chelator. The serum ferritin median is 3,500. Here a room, it's a room for all patients who receive transfusion, about 10 median of 10 patients. It's during afternoon. Each patient has this chart. When we note the date, the weight, the hemoglobin level, the white blood cells, platelets for the diagnosis of hypersplenism, number of units transfused, if there are reaction of post-transfusion, and ferritinemia. And at the end of the year, we calculate the average and to decide if the patient need splenectomy or not. For 40 patients, we have done leak liver iron concentration by MRI. It was sponsored by a company. And for these 40 patients, we performed MRI in our center, and the pictures are sent to Australia for giving the diagnosis. And here, to the example, for one, he's well chelated, with only 1.8, and this other patient with more than 43 milligram of iron by dry tissue. And we found some correlation between serum ferritin and this leak by MRI. For this 190 patients, splenomegaly is noted in 24%, short stature in 31%, delayed puberty and hypogonadism in 21%, hyponadism in less than 1%, and also for hypoparathyroidism, cardiomyopathy, hepatitis, and HV, it's seen only for 1%. Facile abnormality was noted in 6 patients for the very old patients before these guidelines. Bilateral arthritis in 1 patient, arthropathy in 5 patients who received differipron earlier, before 6 years of age, osteonecrosis of right humerus, thrombosis of right ventricle, and 1 patient developed glomerulonephritis post-chickenpox. So for a total of 13%. Splenectomy was performed in 25%, but it was performed during the first decade, between 1999 and 2010, and since this date, we try to not perform splenectomy and only to increase transfusion and to reduce the interval of transfusion until the splenomegaly disappear. The prevention of all patients splenectomized is vaccination and penicillin, and we didn't see any complication for this splenectomy. Our problem is for this patient who has already 2 patients with beta thalassemia major, and they need to have another baby, and we have no prenatal diagnosis and prevention, and this is a very sad problem. And this photo was taken when this a mother became pregnant for the first time. And she was unfortunately, now she has 3 babies with the thalassemia major. We try in our center to every 3 months to develop education of all patients and families. And here you can see some station with even with patients during their transfusion, they receive education, and we answer to their all questions, and we discuss all the problems. From time to time, we go to some region in the north of Morocco, and we perform the screening. We for the families who have already a patient with beta thalassemia major. Here, I would like to thank Professor Amel Beshlawi, who was in our center just 3 weeks ago, and we were very satisfied by her lectures and her assistance to these 2 trainees from Algeria, and all personnel was satisfied. And here you can see Professor Beshlawi discussing with 2 sisters with thalassemia major. So during the last decade, we had developed a huge progress since 2011. Why this year? Because at this year, the Thalassemia International Federation came to Morocco, and after many meetings with the Ministry of Health, the transfusion became free, and there was availability of iron chelator. But there is some problems, mainly in other centers in Morocco, where there are not always availability of blood, frequent shortage of iron chelator, and fewer human resources dedicated to the management of thalassemia. Assessment of iLOD up to now is only by serum ferritin. Lack of national registry, and we try to develop it on national registry. Lack of national program of prevention. Up to now, our ministry is not convinced by performing a program of prevention. They have other priorities. And also, as I said, for these women, the problem of prenatal diagnosis and abortion. Up to now, we have only 3 patients transplanted. And thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Dr. Khattab, for this comprehensive presentation. Thanks so much.